Joining us now is a lad who went to Pike High School here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Currently the coach of them, NBA champion, all-star, host of the Club 520 podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Teague.
What up,
Legend, absolute legend.
Pike High School, weak, huh?
Nah, we lit.
Weak.
Nah, we lit.
Hey, first of all, Jeff, thank you for representing Indianapolis, Indiana so damn well. You're a legend.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Give back to the city. 317's tatted right there on your forearm. I respect how much you've given back here and remained here, even though you didn't necessarily play here. With that being said, your Club 520 podcast is unbelievable.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, taking over right now, and you should be incredibly proud of that.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for adding to the sports media world. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coaching your high school. And thank you for letting the world know that Indiana is a hoop state. I don't think a lot of people understand how many greats have come from this state and how serious basketball is. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Nah, basketball is everything here. You drive around the city, you'll see goals in every driveway, every backyard. Basketball is king here. And growing up here, playing basketball my whole life here, I think I'm a better basketball player than most people from like Chicago or any of those areas because I grew up.
Oh, makes sense. Damn, Q.
Oh, my fault, Q. I forgot he was here.
Q, where are you from?
Man, I'm from the Hundreds. Wild Hundreds, Chicago. Listen, Look, no disrespect, Indiana, Indianapolis, but like, we not gonna do that. We not gonna do that. Like, Chi-Town pay these country boys nothing. You hear me? Listen now. Yeah. Chicago is a best. We breed that now.
Okay.
We do that.
We do too. Nah.
Pike High School, they want no problems with Whitney Young High School. He knows it.
We're trying to set up a game, actually, where y'all are sending me out.
It won't end well for y'all.
All right, let's talk about high school hoops here. The arenas here in Indiana, it's like 10, 15,000 for high school hoops.
Yeah.
How has it been getting back into coaching high school, and what are your thoughts?
Nah, it's been great. Every time we play, it's a sold-out gym. I get booed or they talk about the podcast every single time, but it's cool, man. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, giving back to the kids, I absolutely love that. But our team should be pretty good this year.
Okay.
So y'all won it all, right?
Nah, we haven't. It's some good teams here, you know.
What's your problem, Q?
I thought he won. Hey, okay.
We in real.
Y'all work in progress. Okay, I feel you.
Rebuild.
You just got there.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Let's talk about this Pacers team.
Yeah.
Obviously, you understand the buzz that's around the city. Last year, Eastern Conference Finals, we get swept. Nobody's even allowed to talk about it almost because of how it ended with Boston. Now this year, back again. Now we're in the finals.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this particular team and the way Coach Carlisle is running them?
Nah, it's an exciting team. I think they play a beautiful brand of basketball. Everybody gets a chance to be great on the floor. I didn't expect this from the Pacers. I'd be lying if I said I did after the way they started the season. But Tyreek's been magnificent. The last minute of the game, I mean, he's the guy you want with the ball. But I ain't going to lie, I'm probably not a fan favorite right now because I think OKC's going to win the series.
Indiana kid.
High school.
I got to be real. I'm watching
The prodigal son. The prodigal son.
D-Bud has a question for you, Joe.
Hey, we were talking about up here with Shams. I know you played with Giannis. I believe you told a story about how different his energy is with his brother around. How do you see that really playing out for him, and where do you see him fitting if he does move from Milwaukee?
I can't really picture a team without Giannis in Milwaukee because he's just been there for so long. But if his brother is anywhere around that city, he's going to be there. Okay. And I said it the other day on a podcast, like, man, if you want to sign Giannis, you probably should sign his brother because they're connected. But if I seen him leave, I'm sure he probably wants to go to a big city. So I would imagine like New York, somewhere in New York, Brooklyn or
Indiana.
Indy, yeah.
Y'all guys want Giannis here?
We'll take anybody, brother. Kevin Durant, if you're good at basketball, we'll have you. Kevin Durant needs to come here, too. Oh, my God. He just needs to sit there just like this.
So let me ask you that: who would you trade for Kevin Durant?
Nobody. We're just signing him.
Yeah, just bring him in.
They sign him. Brother, we'll give the first round pick for 2045. That's how you guys operate in the NBA.
Yeah.
You're giving up the 2033 and the 2045 first round pick.
Trade KD for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
If you was in Sacramento, you probably could make it happen.
Connor has a question for you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, I love the podcast story you told on there about pushing LeBron just because why not? It was incredible. SGA feels like one of those guys you would probably just shove at the end of the game. How would you guard a guy like that? And how frustrating is it when you know, hey, if I bump this guy, he might flail back and draw a foul on me, but if I don't bump him, he's going to go right by me and, score.
Yeah, he's kind of impossible to guard. He's like James Harden in the era where I played. You couldn't touch him. You couldn't really figure out a way to stop him. For the Pacers, I think you just got to eliminate everybody else. Like last game, Caruso had a big game. Aaron Wiggins had a big game. You got to take them guys out the picture. SGA's going to get 30 points. I mean, it's proven he averages 30 every game. So if we could eliminate everybody else, I think the Pacers got a really good shot. I got the Pacers actually winning Game 3, though.
Oh, don't do that, Jeff.
Snip, snap.
I don't need to hear your
snip, snap. Snip, snap.
First Game 3. You in or you out? What are you?
Listen, I'm just a fan.
Okay,
You
so
want to see some good basketball?
yeah, let's just see a good game. Let's see a 7-game series. So take me inside the locker room. I don't know your guys' culture well enough whenever it comes to game planning. So the coach will actually say, or you guys will all have an understanding, SGA is going to score 35 points. So if we see him lighting it up, we still are not changing our strategy at all. We're kind of just sacrificing SGA having a massive night, and then you're just trying to eliminate the other pieces?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a full mindset that everybody has.
I mean, I would say cute.
It's not necessarily like you're gonna let them. Like you do your work. You try and make everything difficult as possible, but you can't hang your head or get down if he scores because he's proven this is gonna happen. You can't let that deter your energy. You try to stop him. You don't just let him score 30, but you understand if he gets his 30, this is normal. We have to kind of try and suppress any of these other dudes. Like you said, you can't have Wiggins, Caruso, just guys popping up out of nowhere getting 20 and 18. Like Wiggins hasn't had 18 or 20 the whole playoffs, I don't think.
Yeah, Caruso going crazy just is wild. Hey,
dog.
Hey, Paisan, let's relax, dude. Okay, let's relax here. Indiana needs us. He understands that.
Jeff, when we talk about the Pacers, everyone talks about their pace and how difficult that is, and then you got a team like OKC who can actually kind of match it. How demoralizing is that when they've been kind of just running everybody else out the gym, and then you get to the finals and it's like, oh shit, this team can actually play. Do they need to maybe slow down a little bit and look for better shots, or how does that? Because it almost seems like they're playing right into what OKC does well defensively.
Well, they got to be them. I mean, what makes the Pacers great is their pace. They have to be them, and the thing they do have to do great, guys got to make shots. I mean, Tyrese is the head of the snake. Tyrese got to be aggressive all the time. If that's making plays for others or getting to the basket and scoring, he has to be that. And the last game, I don't think he was as aggressive in the first half, but I think we'll see a different Tyrese tonight.
Jeff, I know you're a professional legend in the sports world out of Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Mackenzie McAfee. She is also going to be a legend. A legend.
Beautiful.
My wife just surprised me with her down here. Obviously, the city has come out. Baby girl, you like the Pacers or no? We're doing Pacers. High five for Pacers. Boom.
I got to change my pick now. I'm going for the Pacers.
There we go, Mackenzie.
Thank you. D-Bud has a question for you, Jeff.
We talked about defense. Pat calls it different. You talk about slapping the floor. You play for Tibbs. Obviously a defensive-minded coach. Knicks go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they let go of Tibbs. How do you think, I know the players came out and spoke, positively about him, which I feel like most guys will, but how do you think they really felt about Tibbs, and what was it like playing for him? And who do you think will fit in with that Knicks roster as it is constructed?
I'm imagining the guys that played a lot like Tibbs, but if you didn't play much, you probably didn't like him. I mean, that goes for probably most of the locker room. But if I was a player that played for Tibbs and I did, and I was a starter, I loved him because I knew I was going to get a chance to make my money because I was going to be on the floor.
All the time.
Yeah, but as far as him getting released from the team, I was surprised because they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They ain't been in 25 years. But it's like, I get it, too, because they needed to play some more people. They needed some more pieces, and they needed to use their bench. And I think they had quality players on the bench. We just never got a chance to see them. But as far as I could help that team, they need a scoring guard that can also help, be like a combo guard that can help Jalen Brunson. I mean, it was so much pressure on him to do everything, bring the ball up, score the basketball, run the plays, even though they ran all the plays for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But he just needs somebody else that can relieve some pressure with that scoring, him and Cat.
Gotcha.
I didn't like watching Brunson play basketball. Every time he touched it and had any space at all, he was.
It's good.
Is that who he is? Is that what he's going to be for the rest of his career? Like, yeah. It was unbelievable to watch, especially because of his size. And obviously, in real life, I assume he is tall when he's walking around. But on the court, he's not as much. He'll go into the paint. I mean, he's going into the big guys, creating enough space, and it's falling every single time. To your point, it felt like he was the only one really being depended upon. Yeah. It's like, can he do that for the rest of his? Is that what we should expect from Jalen for the rest of his? There's no way he can keep that up for the rest of his career.
I mean,
right?
I think he's going to be a 20-point scorer for the rest of his career, but I think
it was unfathomable. As soon as he would get the ball, you just knew what was happening. And up close in person, he's a guy that also gets fouls called. I think a lot of scorers get a lot of fouls called on them or whatever. So that was like another thing. People were calling him flopper, which is certainly an advantage to his game. But if he had it, he was knocking it down. He was cold-blooded.
It'll be interesting who the next coach is, whether they still play that way, because his usage rate was through the roof. He had the ball all of the time doing whatever he wants. So it'll be interesting if the new coach, whoever that is, comes in, if they take that same approach as like give him the ball and get out the way, or they try and, some guys have schemes and like sets and offenses that they run, and it'll be interesting to see who the next coach is and how that dynamic works.
I saw a lot of Knicks fans saying put Brunson on the bench, and I was agreeing with them. Yeah. Put his ass over there. Yeah, everybody on the other team would like you guys to do that, just so you know that as you go forward. Go ahead, D-Bud.
No, I was about to say, you talked about calling sets. I feel like I didn't see many sets, and I don't know, I'm from the outside looking in, I would assume different coaches call more sets and more set plays, but I just felt like the ball went to Brunson and it just stopped.
Get out the way.
You know what I mean? And I remember Kobe years ago talking about, I think, James Harden, and like, look, you can average 37, you can win the MVP, but you're not going to win a championship like that. Is that kind of how y'all see it as well?
Yeah, for me, that's definitely how I see it. I mean, you got to have more movement, especially with all the guys they have. I mean, Michael Bridges was a 25-point scorer when he was in Brooklyn. We know what OG and Obi could do. I think you got to move the ball and use some of those pieces. I mean, some of them on max deals.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
OG was the highest paid on the team, so him not to even get that many touches or to be even part of the offensive scheme like that, I think it was kind of tough to watch.
Speaking of leaving the Knicks, have you ever seen somebody be able to jump as high as Obi Toppin?
Nah, Obi Toppin is different.
Is he the most explosive player to ever play? Legit. Is he the most explosive?
I don't know about that. I think he got a unique combination though, because he's definitely a leaper. He's got bounce, but you got to take into consideration he has crazy long arms. His arms have a lot to do with how he can dunk so effortlessly, because the length on his arms is crazy.
He did a double pump dunk in the fourth quarter against the Knicks to take the lead. Got fouled. They didn't call it because he's Obi Toppin.
Right.
If he was anybody else, they would have called it. But he hits his head off the rim seemingly on a very regular basis, and he's shown up for the Pacers in a big way. It's like every player we have has shown up in their role. Yeah. How important is that for a team that's going to have success? And is that Carlisle or who is that?
It has to be Carlisle. I mean,
Carlisle is unbelievable.
Yeah, all these guys got unbelievable confidence. They take shots that you normally wouldn't see. Some of the role players, I would call them, take shots. I think Nembhard in game one, he did a between the leg step back three in a clutch moment. And usually your star player or your go-to guy has the ball in those moments. And for him to take that shot, just let me know what kind of team they have. They have a real life, all together, one unit team.
Okay, Jeff.
Carlisle don't get enough love, man. He's one of the best coaches in the history of the game. And he's a championship coach. He's got pedigree. Every team he's coached always have an identity. They hang their hat on something. Whatever their identity is, they show up as that. And I think when he gets through, man, he's gonna finish up and go down as one of the best coaches ever, man. Carlisle is a dude.
I agree. Wild doppelganger for Jim Carrey.
Crazy. That's a fact.
I mean, even the younger, they were showing pictures of him back whenever he was with Reggie Miller when he was an assistant coach here. He looks like a young Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And then whenever he's now, he obviously looks like an older Jim Carrey. And what he does and the way he coaches, we love it here in Indiana. I think it fits the state and the city perfectly, especially with the way you like to watch basketball. Speaking of fitting the state perfectly, Jeff, you're the man. Thank you for representing this city, man.
Like that Southside, baby. Like that Southside, baby.
Try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA. time.